Hey everybody, clearing, some more Amazonite clearing. All right, let's get into it. So this is going to be, I think, a fairly short, sweet read on where are the DMs at. Just a check-in. So thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through. What can we see for where the DMs are at? How are they thinking about the connection and their counterpart? How are they feeling on the heart space about the connection, status of the connection I just heard, and their counterpart? What are they wishing to manifest? What are these DMs doing towards union, directly or indirectly? What is the biggest challenge for them at this time? What is the spirit-guided solution for that challenge? Where are things going in the near future? And what do the DFs need to know about what we are seeing? And what is some kind of a hopeful message to encourage the DFs on the journey? Okay, conscious mind. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Getting really close to 20,000, but it's like, so if you haven't liked and subscribed, get that algorithm pumping, because we need to give away that coaching package. Oh my goodness, I see I'm getting excited about it. I know it's going to be life-changing for someone to get 3 sessions with me. I'm going to go deep and really get in there and do an overhaul. So, okay, back to the DM check-in. Okay, conscious mind about the connection, where it's at. What do you want? And trust. I'm going to read all these in the upright today. So yeah, your counterpart is opening the trust here and willing to take a sincere look at what will work between the two of you. They're beginning to really trust you like they've never trusted anyone else, and genuinely wanting to give it a shot to imagine, envision the sorts of things that you, Divine Feminine, would like to see legitimately going forward. Yeah, what can we see about that? Okay, cycles still need to close out. The Wheel of Fortune, the World in the inverse means that there are things that are nearing the brink, nearing the end. Encouragement for the feminines. Oh, 10 of Cups is on the other side of whatever you're completing right now. So I guess your masculine is beginning to express as a mirror, because if you're clearing through obstacles and things that need to close out for this 10 of Cups, your counterpart is genuinely going to start asking you about what directions you want to start going in, because you are manifesting this 10 of Cups, feminines. And you're also manifesting trust in this connection by following your heart. You're the specialist in your connection, and that is causing for things to deepen because you're listening to your heart to close out cycles and to walk forward to your 10 of Cups. What can we see for how are they feeling about you in particular? No. And forgiveness. So what I'm getting from this is that they understand that whenever it's been a no for them, it's because they haven't had forgiveness in their heart. So it's not about taking it personally, feminines. It's not about you. And whenever your counterpart, your masculine, hasn't been free to allow the connection to deepen or move forward in some way, it's because they've needed time to forgive past people, trauma, misconceptions in this connection, you name it. They're realizing that. What can we see for the feminines? Keep an open mind. I'm not here to tell you to put up with abuse or, indefinite no contact. That's not giving you personal reasons to stay invested. If you're hanging out, clinging to a connection because you feel it's the best you've ever had and that nothing better can come, but it's been not giving you anything of value. Only you know if the return for your love is of value to you. And that could be in a whole host of ways that don't make sense to people outside your journey. But you do know at the end of the day if something is giving you the value that warrants you staying in it. This is saying keep an open mind if you do feel there is value and that there's more than meets the eye. And if this message of your counterpart possibly being in unforgiveness, a hardened heart, is the reason that's resonating for the stop-start or the stalls in the connection. What is the advice going forward? King of Cups. Yeah, you can feel if this counterpart you have has a bunch of unexpressed emotions, feminines. You can read that as the Queen of Cups, which is the counterpart to this King of Cups. That's the psychic intuitive energy. And so if you know what your heart is telling you, I just heard get ready for surprises. What can we see for the heart space? If I asked you to stay, would you leave? And release. So there's something that still hasn't been fully released. In the Northern Hemisphere, we are in autumn here. So it can just be this period of alignment with nature and letting go. Take that how it resonates. That may not be your message in the Southern Hemisphere. Hello, Southern Hemisphere. But these masculines are wondering if there's going to be a potential period of winter. For whatever reasons, things can't ramp up just yet. Would you still stay if they can't give you everything yet? And the feminines are over here going, what have I been doing all along? You're worth it. What is the info for the feminines? Emperor. So these masculines are impeccable. They are becoming emperors. And so they want to do it right. They don't want to consummate this connection until they've got everything in order. But they are very much wondering if you can find some sort of an agreement that acknowledges that they can't give you everything yet, but they don't want to hold you back. Remember, it could be insecurity, but it's also unconditional love, that they don't want to tell your story. They don't want to presume that if they can't, come forward in a year, 6 months, 2 years, fully, hopefully sooner than that, that they don't want to hold you back. What is the advice? 5 of Cups. Really look at everything, not as a loss, but as a resilient triumph victory storyline. Don't look at it with the cup half empty, that your masculine can't give you everything just yet. Look at it with the glass half full, that they want to stick around if you'll have them, even though they can't give you everything yet. Circumstances, my hands are tied, I just heard. So they still have to release something that they are maneuvering through that is qualifying them to be emperors. That means they have lots of decision making and mature adulting to do right now. And they're curious if you would see it that way, or if you would reject them because you're not getting your needs met. And I wanted to use a really whiny karmic voice for that, to be honest. So these masculines likely have been connected with people or seen it modeled, that when the masculines are trying to sincerely do something, that they're underappreciated for it, and that they have been berated because Berated. Oh my gosh. Oh, is it Mercury retrograde? Literally, it feels like it must be. The dense energy. It's like everything I tried to say is on a record playing backwards. And I'm fighting it so much with the way that I'm speaking. But yes, these masculines have gotten backlash when they have tried to buckle down and really provide and protect. They've been told repeatedly, I want you to provide and protect me, but I want you to do it right now. So don't go put energy into the things that you need to establish in order to do it right. I want the pretend version. I want the plastic version. I want the good on paper version. I don't really want you to do it right. Well, not around here, masculines. These feminines actually see you for who you are. They love you for who you are. And yeah, I have a hunch they would want you to commune even before it's full go time. What can we see on the heart space? Gray area, maybe, and relaxation. Oh, so these masculines are wondering on their heart of hearts if just maybe you'd like to have some R&R, a weekend getaway, just the two of you. That's what I just heard. Oh, that's beautiful. So this can also mean that in their heart, they're calling it in, that they're spending time really in a phase of R&R, some downtime on their own right now, and really looking at the history and your frequency and your character, and they're believing that maybe, just maybe, you wouldn't leave if they asked you to stay. They don't want to infringe on your free will, feminines, but their hearts are also telling them that by asking you to stay, it might not actually be an inconvenience to you. Oh, masculines, you're so darn sweet. See how they are really coming into their worthiness? That message is very transparent compared to in the past. So these masculines are realizing maybe you actually love them, and maybe you are each other's match. It's kind of sinking in. There's something very wholesome about this connection, this energy. Okay, so there's commitment backing it. If they asked you to stay, feminines, it's backed by this desire for long-term commitment and success, but they don't want to be somebody that ruins your other options if someone would be better for you than them while they're still making their way. This is the entrepreneur, this is the financial security, this is the legacy builder, this is the husband energy. And so while they're not fully there, they do see that potential here. What is the advice for the feminines? Prince of Wands. Let your passion take you and carry you to great places. I'm seeing Dr. Seuss, all the places you will go. So feminines, don't worry so much about the passion dipping off or not, or hyper-focusing on the sexual connection or the intimacy that way. There is a deep, wholesome energy anchoring today. What can we see for the biggest challenge? I want to get you drunk. They want to just kind of escape whatever this adulting is that they're having to go through right now. They see thriving on the horizon and they're like raring to go. They're like vroom, vroom, they're revving their engines, but they know that it wouldn't be as good as it will be when you can fully do it right. But they would like to. They would, I'm getting those weekend vibes as well. Like they just want to go hard. So not everybody's going to resonate with alcohol, but it's that kind of escapism energy again, because they see thriving on the horizon in their life, in your life, together. But they kind of, it's like spring break energy. Not that we're going to wait that long for these connections to acknowledge on this level. It just feels like that kind of a good old days no responsibility. Like they would like to be by your side for some R&R. Feminines, you're getting this message of just focusing, staying in your lane, focusing on what you need to, working hard, doing what's needed in your life to close out those cycles on your end. What is the encouragement? 8 of Swords. The big picture is going to dawn on you, be shown. This eagle sees from above. It sees all the elements that need to be factored in, all of the awarenesses that need to be considered for holistic vision. And when we see the big picture, none of the individual concerns really hold us back. We then can see that we've been specializing in anchoring various aspects, and that none of our process has been in vain. It's all lent itself to the masterful whole. So feminines, just know that you're really gaining traction, I just heard. And to keep anchoring in this stability that you're truly feeling is grounding in your own soul, in your own process. What are the actions these masculines want to take? Do you think about me too? And simplicity. This is the soul stuff. So these masculines are at the place where none of those perfectionist templates, the ego showboating I heard, all of that grand stuff, they just really like you. I heard your smile, this one angle of your face, the way that you have certain mannerisms or responses when they tease you. They like those little things. And they wonder if those memories are stuck in your head too. If you have little, snapshot memories of your person, comment below with a camera icon. It feels like things are indelibly in the minds, on the hearts. And they're coming down to that essential. They want to know if you affect them that way, or if they affect you that way, like you affect them. Advice here. Okay, so Wheel of Fortune. This is going to arise in your connection. Your counterpart is going to acknowledge this simple truth in some shape or form, that they've been thinking about you and that you've left a lasting impression. And it's in simple, meaningful, light as air, light as feathers ways. What is the advice for the feminines? Wow, the Wheel of Fortune, to clarify, the Wheel of Fortune, both in the inverse. So it's coming. Everything you've asked for, I heard, beyond your wildest dreams, feminines. It's on the way. Double Wheel of Fortune. It's right around the corner. You don't see it coming because you're really learning to love authentically, and that energy of authentic love really doesn't expect anything in return. That's the humility of divine love, the simplicity. So yeah, masculines, your feminines are in a very open state of receptivity, readiness. What can we see for the biggest challenge for these masculines? I need more balance in the inverse and healing chaos. Okay, so in the eye of the storm. So right now the challenge is they have got a lot of real world things swirling around them, but they're keeping their center through it all. But the challenge is it's rapidly happening in all directions. So many things are healing in your masculines' lives right now. They have testimony of many things that are making progress in their lives. Transformation. Look at all these butterflies. So in your masculines' lives, there are all these butterfly stories of success on a spiritual level, mental, physical, spiritual balance. They have been anchoring this. And so now, wherever they go, just like you, divine feminines, there's a whirlwind of healing that ensues because of your energy, because of their energy. They are seeing the positive difference that they have made. They've invested in the butterfly stories, the transformation stories that have been happening around them in their reality. For the feminines, 5 of Cups. Yes, this is that butterfly story, the transformation story. We already got this earlier in the reading. So instead of telling yourself regret, remorse, grieving stories, it's time to really look at those butterfly stories woven through the melody, woven through the becoming, not the travesties, the tragedies, the glass half empty stories, the higher guidance stories, and the lovers. So what's coming is true love is being anchored on the planet through all of us, through each and every one, bit by bit, story by story, transformation by transformation. 100,000 others come up into the light as one person comes into mastery and righteousness. And we tell the story on that pathway, and it extends out from us on our journeys when we no longer are silenced and hide our light because others say naysaying things about not it being foolish to believe in such silly things as love. When we get past the point of being vulnerable to those kinds of fears, external fears, we move through into this resilience, and then we become the teachers for these things because we had the faith to stick with it. What is the solution to all this healing chaos? I sometimes wonder if you care. And openness. Wow, that's very vulnerable energy. So these masculines are really admitting to themselves that they've been vulnerable on this journey, and they're going to let you know more about the struggles they've had because it will be in hindsight. While they were going through the ego deaths on this journey, licking their wounds, feeling ill-equipped, foolish, guilty, shameful, they didn't want to talk to you about it because that's not the version, 2222, that they wanted you to know in them. They wanted you to know this resilient, overcoming hero journey kind of version. And so now they're going to be able to talk about it in hindsight because they've overcome genuinely. And now they're going to be emotionally available. Now they're going to be open to talking to you on that level. I'm seeing all the zodiacs in this card around the moon. So something about zodiacs might be a sync. Your astrology charts are changing, I just heard. High Priestess for the feminines, be still and know. You can sense something's coming. You can sense the love grounding. You can sense your masculine opening. Advice, Knight of Wands. What was the other one that we got that I thought was that earlier? Prince of Wands and Knight of Wands, interesting. Okay, well, this time there's a phoenix here and it's pointing right towards the masculines. So get ready for an up-leveled passion here, a transformed passion, the phoenix. Zing. It's going to be, you know, when we first meet, before we're masterful, before we've really gotten to know a person and begun to trust them and genuinely love them, not because it's the chemistry or that magnetic pull of potential. When you really have seen that someone is worthy of love, that's a whole other North Star compass of navigation. And that is what I'm seeing coming to the forefront. What's going to be happening in the near future? Ooh, I'm a very jealous person, and community in the inverse. Okay, so it does look like, for whatever reasons, here's the transformed things. I'm not getting heavy energy from this jealousy card, what I'm getting from it is that the masculines have had a difficult time not compartmentalizing all those transformation stories that have been swirling, the healing chaos. And it's not so much that they are jealous, it's that they have a difficult time focusing on one thing over another when they know what priorities they need to focus on. And that many times they've wondered if you were going to move on, or if your love or care was substantial enough to continue focusing on this connection when they were pulled away and couldn't focus on you and growing this connection. So there's something about community, so that could be friends, family, that might have more of your attention or energy than your masculine has. And it feels like they're realizing that and wanting to close the gap. They're realizing other people around you know more about you than they do. There's a real tender acknowledgement here that they want to be your number one. And it's not because they're unruly and possessive and jealous in a negative way. It's that they want to be your primary partner. They want to be your primary person. They don't want anyone else to get your best. They don't want to give anyone else their best. So in this sense, this is the jealousy of the divine, which means true love. It's the healthy interpretation. You know, I have often been confused as to why jealousy feels badly, and yet the Bible says that God is a jealous God. Righteousness, there is a highest truth, and anything less than that highest truth is not there yet. Jealousy does bring out deep awareness of where there are misalignments if we utilize it for the emotional tool that it is. A lot of times jealousy is a lower vibrational suffering energy, and it takes a very sophisticated discernment to be able to see it in its intended productive way, rather than get swayed by the insecurities and competition lack interpretations of it. But if you can look at it and see it as an ally for the light, if you are that masterful, then jealousy can be obliterated. So there does seem to be an area in your connection where your masculine wants to close the gap. What is the information? Oh, Two of Cups, because it's true love. They want to be number one. Wow, advice. King of Wands, this is your divine masculine. Oh, this is also the monogamous king. This is the spiritually embodied king. So these masculines have a lot of emotion they haven't shared, but they want the real deal with you. I just heard they've been grooming you all along. So feminines with eyes to see, ears to hear, take heed. Your masculine has been testing and grooming and witnessing with unconditional love, of course, but they've been intentional, they've been conscious. And if you feel the love from this person but haven't yet come into enough mastery to see that for what it is, you might not be ready for union. What can we see energetically? Chakra, Kabbalah, spiritual path, life lessons, and karma, the tree of life. Okay, everybody, much love. Keep on keeping on. Bye for now.